Hi, I'm Andrew Iacobelli with Iacobelli Law Firm, and today I'm going to be answering some frequently asked questions of personal injury lawyers. You're watching Richmond Hill Business Insider. Okay, first question is, when do I need a personal injury lawyer? So, personal injury lawyer practices specifically in the area of representing people who have been injured by no fault of their own. Typical examples of that, or common examples, would be a car accident. For instance, if somebody is rear-ended, or if someone turns left in front of you, or if it's a T-bone crash and someone else caused the accident and the accident resulted in an injury. Another might be slip and fall. If there's ice or snow and the property owner failed to clear the snow or put down salt and you slip and fall. A trip and fall, same sort of thing, but maybe a defect in the floor surface that causes you to trip and suffer an injury. Injuries can happen in all sorts of ways, but those are some of the common ways. And what a personal injury lawyer does is assist these injured parties in recovering for their losses. The loss of enjoyment of life, if the injury is very serious, the pain and suffering, and also the economic losses. So if somebody's off of work because of an injury, there's an income loss. Expenses for healthcare, or services like housekeeping or assistance around their home, or medical expenses, those losses a lawyer will assist you in recovering, and not just for that discrete period of time, but also to try to get you enough money to protect you in the future. And that's the situation where someone would need the assistance of a personal injury lawyer. Why should I hire a personal injury lawyer? A good question. That kind of goes hand in hand with, do I need a personal injury lawyer? You don't always need a personal injury lawyer. Sometimes the injury is not that significant. You heal up and there are no real losses. I would recommend hiring a personal injury lawyer if it's an injury that results in pain and suffering and maybe interferes with your ability to enjoy your life, to engage in your recreation, impacts your ability to work, impacts your health. Most of these claims go against an insurance company. Insurance companies have lots of resources. To give yourself a fair shot and get a fair result, we would highly recommend that you consult with a personal injury lawyer. How do contingency fees work? What does it mean when lawyers say you don't pay unless you win? That's a really great question, actually, and one that we are frequently asked. A contingency fee is a regulated fee agreement in Ontario between lawyers and clients, and it's unlike the historic or traditional type of payment for lawyer services. So in a contingency fee agreement, you and your lawyer would agree on a percentage of the outcome of the case. The lawyer will work on your case, advance your case, and if and only if there's a result that results in a money recovery for you, then your lawyer will earn a fee based on a percentage of that recovery. And it will be all spelled out for you in a document called a contingency fee agreement. In the event that there is no recovery, so if the lawyer is not successful or your case turns out to be not successful, you will pay your lawyer nothing for their fees. Okay. How much will I get from a car accident settlement in Ontario? That is a question that will depend on a lot of factors. If you have a claim for a car accident, for an injury, it's really not the car accident, it's the injury that results from the car accident. The value of your claim, or how much money you're going to receive, is really going to depend on the harms and losses. So obviously, the greater the harm, the greater the losses, the more you can expect for your claim. If it's a very minor injury that hasn't really had a major impact, it hasn't impacted your enjoyment of life, it hasn't impacted your ability to work, hasn't impacted your health all that much, then probably that claim is not going to be worth much. The other extreme would be, a very severe, maybe a catastrophic injury that has life-changing impact on a person's life. Those would have very, very significant economic losses. You would need a lawyer to pursue significant recovery to cover those losses. And everything else is somewhere in between. Okay, so the vast majority of cases are somewhere in between. What should you do in case of an accident? If you find yourself in the unfortunate situation of an accident, well, let's say a car accident, some important steps you might want to take early on. Step one, people's version of events, how the accident happened. changes. Get a police report, have the police come out, investigate how the accident occurred, and document it. If you're able, second thing you would do at the scene of the accident is take some photographs. Photograph the location of the vehicles, the property damage, any other important clues or evidence about how the accident occurred. If there are witnesses, take down their information. Police don't always take down the witness information. So if there's a witness there that says they saw the accident, they can support your version of events. Get their name and phone number at a minimum. Seek medical attention. It's important to get medical attention no matter how minor the injuries seem, because even really significant injuries could be not apparent immediately after an accident. So take care of yourself and get checked out by a healthcare provider. Next, I would recommend notifying your insurance company, obviously that you were involved in an accident. Let them know you were injured, and speak to a lawyer. Speak to a lawyer with experience in car accidents and injury claims, and just get some advice to see if they can assist you. What are the benefits of hiring a car accident lawyer? I would say the benefit is having someone on your side. It's a complex area of law, lots of moving parts. These claims are ultimately paid by insurance companies. They're sophisticated. They know how to minimize and defeat claims. Working with a lawyer will give you peace of mind that you also have someone on your side, and it really will allow you to make informed decisions for yourself, because you're welcome to ask your lawyer any questions. And then when you do make a decision on how to proceed, at least it'll be with the information. Last question. Can you get compensation if the accident was your fault? Interesting. Great question. It depends. It depends on the nature of the accident. It's very rare that fault can be divided up wholly on the part of one person. There's usually, you can look at a situation and realize that maybe more than one person was at fault, including the one seeking compensation. If you're at fault, but you're not the only one at fault, you can get compensation. So I'll give an example. You may have been driving a little bit too fast. Maybe the roads were wet. The other car turned left in front of you. Had the roads been dry and you've been driving a little slower, or had you been driving a little slower even with the wet roads, maybe you could have stopped. A lawyer then would look at that situation, lawyer on your behalf, and try to establish that as much of the fault as possible is on the other side. Whereas the lawyer for the insurance company or the insurance company itself would be trying to shift that blame to you. Because the way it works is the more blame that's shifted on you, the less they pay. So a lawyer working for you can help minimize your blame and try to shift as much responsibility on the other side. So that's one example where you might be at fault or partially at fault and still be entitled to seek compensation. Another example is in a car accident, your auto insurance policy has coverage, which is actually called no-fault coverage. And that coverage provides some benefits, including treatment, like healthcare treatment, income continuation benefits, and some other things that you may be eligible for irrespective of fault. You could be 100% at fault. You may have even driven your own car into a tree. Okay, so those are a couple examples. But if you have a situation where you're not sure, speak to a lawyer, because if you do have a right to a claim, the earlier you get started on those kinds of claims, the stronger your position will ultimately be. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out to us. Our office is located at 15 Wertheim Court, Suite 303, Richmond Hill, and that's right at Highway 7 and Leslie area. So we look forward to hearing from you.